A little while back on an episode of Ash Answers, we asked you guys if you'd like to see us shoot a video of us spending an entire day with a smartphone camera, shooting pictures and whatnot. And you guys seem to be interested in that kind of video. So the other day, I was talking to my friend Piyush. He's a renowned cinematographer, DOP for a national award-winning documentary Ahmedabad Ma Famous, and also an integral member of the team behind my Drama Life video. So we got talking and I got him to join us for our day out with one of the best camera phones in its segment, the Honor 6X. The plan was to drive out to Mamalapuram and shoot pictures on the 6X along the way. So our day started with us driving out and picking Piyush up at the airport.
Hey guys, I'm Piyush, and as a DOP, I shoot a lot with a variety of cameras, but I do shoot a lot with my smartphone too, due to its simplicity and convenience. Phone photography is all about just keeping things simple, being creative with the composition while nailing the exposure and focus.
So all these are shot with the phone, right?
Yup, shot and edited on the phone.
Okay.
By the way, I love South Indian food, and food's always been good for the eyes as well. So that's where I decided to start. Food for me and food for the camera.
So guys, to keep this video a little informative, we'd be showing you untouched images shot with the 6X along with the manual settings Piyush used to get them shots. Before showing you a final image that's been edited on the phone with either the built-in editing app or with a third-party app like Snapseed or VSCO, I did consider using Photoshop.
But I felt editing on the phone should be easier for most people.
And I did agree with that because it made a lot of sense to showcase images that you, the end user, can actually get, right? So our shooting started at the restaurant, right?
Yeah.
So given it was early in the morning and mixed lighting, what settings did you go with?
1/80th of a second to avoid the flicker because of the artificial lighting and the ISO as low as possible, and in this case at 125.
So basically for all purposes, I'm just gonna be following him around. Have nothing to do today. Dude, watch. So see, we almost had an accident. Happens. That is how committed he is to the videos. So if you like his commitment, give this video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button down below. We shot from the middle of the road, we then got into the bus, and then we got kicked out.
Not before I got the shot though. So here I like the emptiness of the bus. You generally find buses crowded, and that's what I feel make this a great shot. The fact that it's actually empty. So again, lowest ISO 100 and 1/250th of a second shutter for proper exposure. With this shot again, I left the ISO at 100 for the least noise and went with 1/3200th of a second to get the exposure right. I like this shot because of the contrast of a laborer in front of this posh building.
And the fact that the security guys were being a royal pain in the butt, trying to get us to delete the shot and all.
And of course, the dynamic range, how the sky just pops.
So then we continued towards Kovaleum, stopping in the middle at a few interesting locations like this one.
A set of buildings stacked over a natural mirror. The colors, that made for a nice shot here.
And then Harris actually brought up a possibility of some sweet macro shooting.
We had some bugs on the plant there, and that made for an interesting photo op. Finally, we got to the beach.
Kovaleum, and this is what Piyush called his boats and goats moment.
Again, it was the colors and everything stacked together in the frame, the boats, the goats, the blue sky, the sea.
I was just trying to stay out of the way of the goats. Them sharp horns, nah.
I went ISO 100 and 1/3200th of a second again for this shot. So if you notice, there's a trend here. I tend to go for the lowest ISO possible for the least noise and adjust the shutter speed to control the exposure. It helps that the Honor 6X can shoot as fast as 1 by 4000th of a second. So all these shots are just about composition, finding an interesting story, a resting dog, crashing waves, a lone kid on the rocks staring at the vast expanse of the sea.
Given the heat, we decided to seek respite at a coffee day right outside Mamalapuram. But we also got some shots while we were there.
I thought this would be a good chance to show off some indoor shooting in the day. The dripping chocolate sauce here. That's what I feel makes one's mouth water. And with this shot, I had to crank up the ISO a bit to make sure the exposure was right, given that we were indoors. And of course, this being coffee day, we just had to get this one.
Around 3:34, we actually left for Mamalapuram and got quite a few interesting shots there too.
Sundar was a good sport. He agreed to jump. I made him do that quite a few times, though to get the exact shot I wanted. At the end, I felt it was worth it. The 1 by 4000 shutter speed helped me nail this frame. Then I wanted something off Ash's coolers.
So he made me freeze in this position for a while Harris jumped wildly, as you can see in the reflection. We then continued getting some more shots for the day, basically to test out the dynamic range that the 6X had to offer.
And it was really good, especially given the price.
So anyway guys, that is all we have for the daylight part of the video. Next week, we'd have a follow-up to this video, and by next week, I mean 5 days, 10 days, something around that. So don't blame me if it becomes like 10 days or something. Anyway, we'll have a follow-up to this video with, the working title, A Night with the Honor 6X. But do not go there, it's where we drive back to Chennai and get some great looking shots like this.
So if you did like this video, give it a thumbs up.
And follow Piyush on Instagram or Twitter at Piyush Puri. His Instagram feed's filled with a ton of awesome smartphone shot images, a lot of content there. You should definitely check that out.
And for more videos, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already.
If you are already subscribed, do this to make sure you get notified every time a new video goes live on C4eTech. Thanks a lot for watching. Till next time, this is Ash here from C4eTech.
And Piyush signing off.
You guys have a great day. Bye-bye now.